Having trouble getting your colours in, solid and saturated? Here's my 5 best tips on how I pack colour. Tip number 1, stretch the skin. I know this seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people forget to stretch the skin. If you're using a mag to pack colour and you're trying to pack it into loose skin, then your needles are just bouncing around and not penetrating properly. You got to stretch that skin out to give it a nice solid hit. Tip number 2, the more ink, the better. Don't skimp out on the amount of ink on your needles. The more, the better. Generally, when I'm packing colour, I'm dipping those bad boys in, I'm lathering them up with as much ink as they can hold. If the ink's pooling on the skin, don't be afraid to use that excess ink to get that colour solid. Tip number 3, fast circles, slow forwards. But Yeetus Wolf, what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. This means that you're working in tight circles while moving forwards or away from the back of the mag in a slow manner. This helps keep the needle marks consistent while not overworking the skin. Tip number 4, hang those needles out. It's nearly impossible to pack colour with your needles hiding away inside the tube. Make sure you hang those puppies out, but don't get too aggressive with it. Only use the tips of the needles, and when you start to feel resistance from the skin, you know you're in the right depth. And the final one, tip number 5, turn your machine down. If the colour isn't packing in nicely, your instinct might be to crank your machine up so that you can get a heavier hit. This isn't how it works. If you turn the machine down, it gives the needles a chance to push the colour in rather than bouncing around on the top of the skin and not doing much. Everyone has their own way of packing colour, and every artist will tell you it's just something that you need to feel out over time. This is just one way of doing it, and this is how I personally do it. There are plenty more tips and tricks on how to pack colour. If you're interested in learning more about the art of tattooing, please go and check out my Patreon, where I'll be going deep on the hows, whys, and whats of tattooing. Until next time, stay creative.